Good morning, everybody. It's another beautiful morning here in Taghkanic State Park. It's hiking day. Oh, it's about 9:30 right now. I've had breakfast. I've got a quick hike up into the back country here behind the park. We're going to take the campground loop to the Reesa farm trail. It should be about 2 miles to get back here on the loop and see what we can see. I've got my chest camera on so I can use my hiking poles. I'm going to keep this camera with me to shoot still pictures with and this kind of stuff. It rained overnight. It poured really heavy, so I had to redo the tarps a little bit, tighten everything up. We're looking good. We shouldn't be too much more than an hour or two on this hike, and then we'll be back here for lunch. Way up on that hill there is the old water tower. They restored it and you could take tours by appointment. It was in great disrepair during the 90s. They got some federal dough to redo it, so they did. I looked around when I did the campground tour last fall. We're looking for the campground loop trail. Okay, yeah, that's us all right. Beautiful. Trail's lined with moss. It's going to be a nice walk on the feet. It's a beautiful trail. It's a little like hiking in a rainforest. It's very moist back here, obviously. Look at this. I mean, I'm walking on carpet. Mud. I've been warned of the mud. It's an old stone wall from gotta be hundreds of years ago. Imagine the labor that went into clearing this land. So this is used for agricultural reasons. It's usually why these walls are here is because somebody cleared the area for a garden or a farm or a pasture, and it's what they do with the rocks. That's where we've been, and that is where we're going. That's all that matters. Okay, we'll be back. Thanks everybody for joining me today on a hike. We're doing the campground loop and the Reesa Farm Trail at Taghkanic State Park on a beautiful July morning. That's something. That tree is long dead and rotten, but because of the support of the younger tree next to it, it's able to support the next generation of wildlife by providing habitat. There's a beautiful lesson in there somewhere. This is why we have the forest. It's supposed to teach us lessons. We've had one of the wettest Julys on record so far, so I've been told by one of the local boys working in the camp store, and there's a lot of trees come down. I believe them. There are just mushrooms everywhere. It's not the kind of trail you would go out of your way for, just a beautiful trail through the forest. But since you're camping here at Taghkanic State Park, look at this fungus, huh? Almost looks like coral or a sponge or something. There's a bunch more over there too. We're following these green markers. We'll see what's at the top of this little hill. Okay, anything else of interest pops up, I'll be back. Some more mushrooms. Ooh, beautiful day in the forest so far. I do like that sign. Kind of looks like two runaway trains coming around a bend. That one looks a little different. I don't know if it's just that it laid down. Of course, I don't know enough to be eating any of this stuff. We're still following the green markers. Taghkanic region green. This should be the campground loop, and we are looking for the Reesa Farm Trail. It's an exceptionally pretty section here, a nice little downhill. I'm not making great time on this trail. I've been distracted by all the mushrooms and all the growth of the forest. I'm not making time by any stretch. More like a stroll. A beautiful spot. We'll be back. This is really turning into an enchanting walk. Every time I turn a corner, it just kind of gets prettier. There's some birch bark. If I was camping back here, I'd be all over that. I think they're Very fussy about taking specimens here. You're not allowed to cut any wood at all in the woods. I think you can burn dead branches that are on the ground. You can, but you can't cut them down. So if it's dead standing, like this beautiful example of firewood that on any other piece of state land I would probably have in my collection. There's one on the side too, but I'm not allowed to do that here. We're getting close to the exchange for the Reese Farm Trail. It's right after we cross this little creek. Oh, absolutely beautiful. Butterflies flying around, all sorts of wildlife. I grew up in a place like this with a little patch of woods in a suburban area. I thought it was the forest, but it was really just a drainage area in a suburban neighborhood. I'll be back when I get to the Reese Farm Trailhead. Maybe this was the water crossing that I see on the map, and the other one was just a bit of a gully that's not even on the map. I see some trail markers up ahead. Boy, look at the condition of this bridge, huh? I see a place to sit down and take a breather. I haven't seen many, so this is where I'm gonna have a break. That's a nice looking spot to sit down right over here. It looks like it's a well-beaten trail. I think I might have been just a little bit ahead of myself with the map reading. Alright, break time. I'm gonna have a seat right here, have a little bit of water, cool off. What a beautiful scene. Thank you for joining me today on this hike. We're doing the Campground loop in Taghkanic State Park. It's a perfect day for a hike. Alright, break time is over. Time to cross the bridge. Muddy. Okay, so now the campground loop should be a left, and we should be going straight for the Reese Farm Trail. But I'm seeing arrows going like that. Well, that's a left, and that's sort of straight. So that should be the Reese Farm Trail, and that's the campground loop. Okay, that's what I'm thinking. Now there should be another intersection along the Reese Farm Trail not too far after this point, which will confirm where we are. If not, we always come back to this bridge and follow the campground loop. Boy, it's a steamy one today. Real rainforesty kind of hike. I see a big climb coming up. There certainly was a climb. We're about halfway up it. Okay. That's where we came from. We're going up this hill. I'm happy to see a green trail marker, which tells me that this is not just a random ATV trail, but it's going to be the Reese Farm Trail. I love this kind of a pine forest. Another childhood memory. A patch of woods not far from my home called Takapusha. One of its sections was called the Pines. All pine trees, just like this, covered with pine needles everywhere. I can literally still smell them today, right now. Well, it's a bit overgrown. There is still a trail. Hell, I'd almost call this a deer trail. I can't pole very comfortably, so I'm not going to. Flat land right now, so might as well relax. It's like walking through a tunnel. And it beats walking in the sun, I guess. Looks like an intersection with another trail. I was expecting that. It kind of confirms that this is the Reese Farm Trail. Well, that way looks interesting. That looks more beaten. Let's see what the trail map says. I want to make the right and then loop around on this trail, which would mean going down there. I don't like that trail. I'll go and I'll check out the other access at the next intersection. Maybe we'll make the right there and go down and check out the farm area. I love it when the forest opens up into a little break like this. I see a building. I wasn't expecting a building. I was just expecting ruins, maybe just the place where it was, a marker. I wasn't expecting a farmhouse. Look at this big, beautiful tree. So this must have been the farm. There's the barn right over there. Jesus, so well hidden in the foliage. Well, this was certainly worth the walk. I really didn't know that there was so much here. Wow. Well, there's evidence of kids being in here. Trying not to kill myself here. There's some nasty shards of glass here. Hello! Very careful. I won't be going inside this house. I'm not one of those crazies. But since the window is busted open, I'll take a quick look. Must have been a beautiful home. I like the wallpaper. It doesn't look like it's been abandoned for all that long. I see some modern things around, you know, siding. I see some old architectural details on the door. I'm going to try to get out of here safely. I don't know if that's an option right now. You figure there might be a ghost or two floating around in this one? I see there was a front porch on there, a covered porch. I'm seeing some somewhat modern materials here and there. The siding is a giveaway. But the house seems old. Yeah, modern electrical stuff, but of course that stuff was added over the years. This used to be a bathroom. Way over there is the barn. Let's go have a look. That's about as close as I'm gonna get to this barn. It doesn't look really safe and it's very tall, so if something goes wrong, I'm alone out here, kids, and I don't know if another person's gonna be hiking through here in the next couple of months. A word of caution, we're in tick country. It's tick season. Late spring through summer until the dry season starts. The ticks are here. So I'm using some universal protections. I've got permafin on my pants and I have gaiters on that are also covered in permafin. Permafin is an insect repellent that repels or kills ticks if they land on you. I'm wearing a white shirt that's not only is it moisture wicking, but it's also treated with paraffin. My hat as well. My socks are tucked into my pants underneath the gaiters, and I'm fully soaked with a DEET, you know, insect repellent spray, just to cover any areas that aren't covered by my treated clothing. Now, on top of that, with all of that said, when I get home, I'm going to get into my shower tent, and I'm going to shower off, and I'm going to give myself a once over, because, you know, you got to get them before they get in. You've got some time, you got about half a day or so to get to them. You want to get them out as quick as possible. There's some big birds of prey flying over me right now. They're probably hoping that something happens to me, huh? Well, we're going to go back the way we came, and we're going to follow what would have been the loop. The loop would have come out on the far side of the farm and would have gone past the barn, past the house, and then up this way back towards the trail to the campground. So I'm glad I didn't go down that unbeaten trail. I think this one worked out much better, and I didn't have to go through as much of this high grass. I went through too much already. Just talking about ticks make me itchy. Alright, that's the Reese Farm. We're on the Reese Farm Trail, backcountry behind Lake Taghkanic State Park, here in July of 2021. Having a great hike. It's the easy part. Now we got a bit of an uphill. Hi everybody. We're almost done with the Reese Farm Trail. I'm starting to feel like I'm getting back close to campground. Just pounding down some water, and I've got a snack bar. Give me some little energy. We just did a lot of uphill for a while, and now going down. Looks like we're going down into the park. All the while, we've been following green markers. All right, we've been on 2 different trails, and they both have green markers in a green forest. Strange world. Blue, orange, yellow, red would be fine, but not green. I keep running into these little guys everywhere. Just keep on going. If they're edible, these mushrooms would feed quite a few people. I mean, they're just everywhere. I guess they don't grow every time of year. I have no idea if these are edible. I wouldn't dare take a chance without some real good training. Maybe someday. But again, I'm just not a big fan of mushrooms. All the trip I've had these little butterflies, moths, just hanging around. Amazing and beautiful is the universe. But we should be coming up on the campground loop, and we're going to stay right and head down the Reesa Farm Trail back towards the campground. Well, right down there is where we came from. If I wanted to go back to the campground loop, it would be that way. This is the Reesa Farm Trail heading back towards the campground. I like it. It's a nice, long, easy downhill walk in the park. I will be back if I see anything interesting. We're heading back towards the campground from the Reesa Farm. Very cool spot to go check out if you're looking for a nice little hiking trail. This is definitely a good one. We're still following the green markers. I wanted to take a break, but there was really nowhere to sit down. So the sit pad comes in handy when I have my backpack. But everything is soaking wet. Log is wet. Everything is wet. So I took a break standing. This must be a blast on a snowmobile. I've been on one a couple of times. I'd like to do some more of it. Side trail. I don't know if that's a side trail or a deer trail. Yeah, there's no real turn-offs necessarily. We'll stay on the road. And there's a pretty little bog. Something about a swamp that I like. You can smell the earth, the water, life, the bugs. All comes with it, I guess. Some of these bushes almost look like shrubberies. Now, Taghkanic Park was made up of many different parcels of land from different owners. This may have been someone's driveway at one point in time. All right, we'll be back. Let's go have a look what's down here. I see a stone wall. This could be a good place to take a breather. I see a nice place to sit on that rock right there. Oh, this is a perfect place for a break. Oh, look at this. This is really, really nice. The trail is back that way. This almost looks like manicured land. Now, this whole spot's going to do just fine for a break. Oh, look at that. Hello. Well, that was an interesting spot for a break. We found a hunter's trail cam. It is a beautiful little space in there. I guess that's where he sets up to go bow hunting in the fall and winter. They got to get real close. They got to know who's in the neighborhood as far as deer. Now that tells me, at least I know that there are deer out here. They're going places that I won't go, staying away from people. This trail is not very well beaten. I mean, I'm probably the first person to come down here in weeks. That's where we came from. We've got a little creek here and a little bridge. That's a stone wall we just walked across. Wow. Yeah, it's still kind of swampy on the regular trail, so we'll follow the stone wall. And we are back on trail. The bridge is out. Now the highway that you're hearing on the right here, that's the Taghkanic Parkway. That's a really great road for a New Yorker especially. The Taghkanic Parkway starts right at the Whitestone Bridge. That's the bridge that takes me home to Long Island. You can get on the Taghkanic right there and follow it straight up to the exit for Taghkanic Lake State Park. And it's a parkway. There's no big trucks, there's no commercial vehicles. The speed limit's only 55, but it's a nice way to go about it. That's been my method for getting upstate for years. I go out of my way to take the Taghkanic Parkway north. Well, this is the home stretch. You know what this is? This is the main entrance to the park. That's it for now. We're heading back to camp for some lunch. That was an excellent hike. That concludes the campground loop to the Reesa Farm Trail, and then back to the campground. It's lunchtime. Let's eat. Okay. We got hot Italian sausages with barbecue sauce, with fettuccine alfredo, and grilled zucchini. It's a fine lunch. I'll have to look into it further, but it looks like you can rent an equipped tent right on the lake. Nice spot. I can imagine it must be expensive. But it was like a heavy duty tent. I saw a propane tank and barbecue, a bathroom tent. I'll have to check on that on their brochure. This is part of the lake trail. I'm just looking around before dinner, taking a nice walk, fill up my appetite. We saw this from the kayak. Still not sure what it is. Ooh, I see a snake. Looks like a copperhead. Just back away, you get out of here. That was a little scary. Glad I had my glasses on. I wouldn't have seen it. The marking is of a copperhead, but it had like a black coating on it. This is part of the old East Beach, I believe. Someone's got a memorial here, huh? Let's sit. We'll think of Tom for a little minute. Now, down that direction is the kayak launch area. And on the left is the East Beach complex. That's all abandoned, so I guess we're going to walk through that on the way back. What a great spot for some swimming. You got like a big boulder going out this way. Keep my eye out for snakes. It looks like the lake is very high. I saw guys diving off of these rocks over here yesterday. The water is deep. Well, this is the East Beach concessions. It's beautiful. I went up on top of that terrace. The view of the lake is phenomenal. I mean, obviously things are run down. Maybe it was too hard to keep up. What a pretty place. Just the way it is. Now you can come down here. This is not off limits. There's picnic areas and barbecue pits, playgrounds. No swimming, but you can fish. Probably doesn't get very busy at all down here. Good spot. Okay, I'm going to call it a day. This is where I'll take up tomorrow on the lake trail. I just came down here to check this out. I've seen this from the waterfront and it looked very cool, so I'm glad I came down here. There's some really nice places for day tripping. Now that I know, I'm heading back to camp. Time to get out of these clothes and get cleaned up and get ready for another evening in front of the campfire. It's going to be a beautiful night. Thank you for clicking on that button and joining me today. We're exploring Taghkanic Lake State Park, scoping out interesting place to go and do. I saw another copperhead snake twice in one season. Must be a good year for snakes. Luckily I saw him before I stepped on him. Got to be careful out here. Thank you again for watching. Another day's activities here at camp. Not the busiest day I've ever had, but on the other hand, I had a few nice surprises. I found a farm, an abandoned farm, and an abandoned beach. Both were kind of cool. I knew about the abandoned beach. I assumed there was a farm because of the name of the trail being the Reesa Farm Trail was a clue. But it was a great day of hiking. I just got back from checking out the lakefront right here and checking out the old East Beach, which was very nice. Saw a snake. Again, it's like 2 in 1 month. What's the world coming to? Snakes everywhere. We're gonna make a day of this spot right here. We're gonna celebrate the lake today. It's gonna be about this place. Done with one hand, huh? Oh, that is beautiful. Thanks again for showing up, everybody, pushing on that button, spending some time with me paddling in Lake Taghkanic State Park.